let's begin. Guys, the stuff we spoke about in the morning, do you have any questions? Just unmute yourself and try to put your circumstances and then take me through what you are stuck in the principle that we discussed in the morning.
Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, sorry.
Okay, then we'll start with you, Sis Paula, and then next will be Natasha.
Okay, thank you. After that, thank you so much for the morning session that we had. It was really, really mind-blowing. I'm enjoying these sessions, and I wish I can just be in your group. Yeah, because for me it's therapy. I don't know. Maybe yeah. So I Googled the balance wheel, and it's on my other phone. I've opened it up, but now I need to score myself. It's from 2 to 10. So if I would know for a 2, it's someone who starts thriving or surviving, and then 4, at least you have 10,000 bank balance, so that I can score myself properly.
So, Sis Mampola, you are a perfectionist. You wanna get the precise thing. To someone, to one person, 10,000 is a lot of money. To other person, 10,000 is nothing. It's a monthly groceries. So there is no one who will give you the precise amount that matter to you in terms of the standard. You have to set that standard for you. And in most cases, the standard gets set by you by a certain thing. Those who have read the step 1 on the book, I said when I saw my bank account having 367 rand, in my name, yet the business I was supposed to actually, and having a 2 million of debt that I have not collected from people. For me, that was my lowest point. What is your lowest point? Maybe to other people, the lowest point is a minus. But to other people, a lowest point could be even a 10,000 balance in the bank account. At that time, for me, that 367 was my lowest point. But all I am saying, you shouldn't get to the lowest point. You must know what is tolerable for you based on the risk, based on what you are comfortable with. So no one can give you the precise amount. You have to work it out. Maybe consider saying every month before the end of the month, I need to have a minimum amount of this, and that maybe is relating to your budget per month. Maybe that could be your start, but there's no one who can set that up for you.
Okay.
And stay away, Sis Paula, from being a perfectionist. Just try to hear what I'm saying. You basically, in everything that you do, you are trying to get it the precise right. You want to wait until you get it perfect. No, it's a process. I was making up an example earlier that when I started with my dieting, when I started even with my financial journey, there is a lot of trial and error in between from one point to another point. So I will make an example again about the health part. I didn't know that the mechanics of how my body is working. I had watched and listened to my mentors and coaches telling me, if you feel hungry all the time, increase your fat and they will say things like, if you feel cravings for sugar, do this, do that. But in between that, I also did not know what was my emotional triggers, which will then lead me to have cravings. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with money. It's the same thing with money. Try to monitor your patterns. Your patterns and your habits are gonna tell you which areas you need to prioritize on. So when it came to money, I started paying attention to who was I associating myself with, where people that I was surrounding myself with were people who are focusing on actually building their financial wealth. And when I checked, guys, they were broke people. I had no business to be around those people. They were more broker than me. Some of them were renting homes while I owned homes, not one, homes. I was in the wrong WhatsApp group. You should be in a WhatsApp group where you feel uncomfortable because people are just laying it so well that you are saying, I can learn from that. Where you are in a group where you are the person who's well off, you are in a wrong group. You should be in the lowest of that group so that those people that you are in that network with pull you up. I think that was another area that I was struggling with. But same thing also, I started monitoring and seeing that my spending patterns were very much influenced by my emotions. So when I was not feeling good, I would just even go to a shop. I promise you guys, I have clothes that I have not worn, that have tags on, that are half my current size, because I was using money to feel a certain emotion. And that money, if I had taken it to an investment account, that money could be earning me an interest. So it's all those things. I think we will talk, one of the things we're gonna talk about what are the things that stops us to achieve our goals. What is the first thing that stops us? And we said in the morning, it's our belief system. Is what is it that we're actually believing in? And how do you then, if you don't have a belief system that you can achieve that goal, how do you build that belief system? That is what we need to discuss. And I will then give you some tools and share some of the tools. But again, please guys, go through the book. And those who don't like reading, don't worry, listen to the audio then. While you are washing or doing whatever, or running, or maybe even cooking, ladies, just listen to it. It's gonna help you to fill up some of the gaps. But also remember, some of the concepts and the things we're discussing, it's the first time you're hearing about it. It's the first time you're actually, some of you even indicated that all the teachers I was mentioning are people that you've never heard of. So do not stress. Remember how long the teacher took to teach you 1, 2, 3. Same way are you gonna learn this. But I need you to start applying immediately. Each principle, each idea that we're discussing, ask yourself, how can I apply? How can I actually entrench this to my daily habits, to the things that I am supposed to be doing? Sis Paula, do you hear me, ma?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I do.
Yes. No problem. Guys, then the next person is Natasha. Please go ahead.
Okay, hi, Tracy. I haven't got any questions. I also just wanted to say I agree with this Paula. This morning session was very insightful, and I actually took the time out after that to reflect on my beliefs. Look, we all say that we have our beliefs. I believe in something, but do you actually, without doubt, believe in that specific thing? And I think that's where I have a problem. I'll set a goal, or I'll tell myself that I believe in something, and then as soon as it goes, or something goes wrong, that belief is out of the window. And then doubt sets in, fear sets in, and I immediately just set aside the goal, or the plan that I had for myself, and start focusing on something else. And that's why I haven't completed anything that I've started, So this morning session really gave me time to reflect on all of that. I did the Wheel of Life as well, and I made short-term goals for myself according to the results that I received from that specific activity. So I think what I've learned is to stop doubting. And if you say that you believe in something, you need to stick to that and change your mindset. Instead of having, we get negative as human beings, we get very negative, and if you associate with negative people, it rubs off on you. So this morning session really, it was a reflection for me, a reflection session for me. Like I said, I've set short-term goals for now, and I'm hoping that as we continue, it will progress, and I'll eventually get to the long-term goals and commit to that.
Great. Thank you so much, Natasha. And I am here, guys. I promise you, we will run, we'll have this, but every week, once a week, we're going to find a perfect timing where every week we touch base. And I will show you some other things also, Natasha, that now is going to help you to build up the belief system, the right belief system that support your goals, but also the things that you can do to build up the right mindset, and the things that you can do to work on your emotions.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much for that feedback. I am just so excited, guys, because one thing that I learned about achieving anything in life is generally has really nothing to do with that specific thing, but it has to do with all the other stuff, something else than just that thing that you are referring to, that you think it's about. Is anyone who would like to share? Hi, Gail, I didn't see in the morning. Vuyokazi, is anything that you guys want to ask? Gail? Devin, hi. Okay, people are quiet. People are always very, very shy. This is such a small group. You don't need to be shy. But don't worry, all is well. And even if you don't have comments and stuff, let it sink in. Just make notes, make a lot of notes, reflect on the notes, and just keep on going through it. And when you do have questions, guys, you also can actually even direct SMS me. You do have my numbers. And I don't promise I'll be able to answer. But you see, on Finance Success, I think we have about 10 coaches. So yeah. Ah, great. I like that, Paula. Okay. So how do you build the belief system? A belief system that will crush doubt, a belief system that will crush fear, a belief system that will actually destroy anything that is your hindrance, anything that will stop you. I think the first thing we maybe need to discuss, what is it that has stopped you before to achieve your goals? Just type it on the chat. What is it that has stopped you before on your achieving of your goals? Can I have a look on the chat, guys? Just type it, just one thing. Natasha had already said it's just doubting, not being sure. And she then also said fear. That's number 2. So what's number 3? What's number 3? Guys, talk to me. Come on, let's talk. I'm looking at the chat and no one is writing.
Can I come? I think for me, I think being overwhelmed. Because we are self-employed and you are the manager, the secretary, the cleaner, and the everything. Just a lot of things being on one person. Yeah, lack of. Is it? Would they say focus? I don't know, but just being overwhelmed with a lot, being
Yes,
the
yes.
runner, the jockey, and yeah. Yeah,
Fear of
basically.
failing. I like that. Yes. What else? For you guys, what else? What are the things that have stopped you before? Gail, what has stopped you before? Which goal did you set in the New Year's resolution that you have not achieved to date? And what has stopped you?
May I, Precious?
Oh, go ahead. Absolutely.
I think also for me personally, it was resources, finances. It was all those stuff. And I actually read on with my results from the Wheel of Life, where it says that is an obstacle that can be overcome, that you can overcome easily once you've changed your mindset. So you think that, okay, you don't have the capital to actually start the business, or you don't have the correct resources to actually start up. And that's where it blocks off and you leave everything because you don't have the money, you don't have the resources. And Tony Robertson says, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, he says that that's not actually what is needed. It's the correct mindset, it's the determination to actually complete the task that you, or the goal, achieve the goal that you set for yourself.
Wow, that is so great. Okay, so now remember, everything starts from your beliefs. Everything starts from, do you really have a faith on what you are? Do you really trust yourself to be able to handle that goal, to be able to master that goal? So the first thing that you need to build when you are starting to build the faith, you're gonna need to hypnotize yourself. What do I mean when I say hypnotize yourself? You're gonna need to start having affirmations that are the opposite of what has been stopping you. So the stuff that we have listed is saying something like, okay, fear, right? Another one is overwhelmed. The other one is not finishing the things that we're doing. So you can take those weaknesses and turn them to be an affirmation. Maybe your affirmation, Natasha, could be, I finish what I start. I don't touch anything until I finish what I start.
Okay.
I'm a finisher. And you say that in front of the mirror early in the morning as you praying on daily basis, or whatever ritual that you have that calm you down, that keeps you on the ground. You are repeating that in your head. I don't start anything unless I'm committed to finishing it. And so you identify what are the things that have stopped me before you list those things. And you turn those things around. You just turn them and put them in a positive way. Who are you, Natasha? I'm a finisher. Everything I touch, I finish.
Okay.
So you build the affirmations positively. You build affirmations. You can Google word affirmations. There's millions and thousands of affirmations. But the aim of building affirmations is to hypnotize yourself, is to actually, advert for Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola does not need to tell the world they exist, but they still advertise. They do big billboards advertising crap, basically, because Coca-Cola is crap. But it's to hypnotize you so that you remember their brand. You're gonna need to start hypnotizing yourself to know that you are a person who starts and finish. Don't let the past failures to detect where to from here. Use it as a stepping stone. Rather, I don't touch something if I'm not sure when I'm gonna finish it. Put deadlines. Number 2. So first one is affirmation. Number 2, you're going to have to build up a goal that is big enough for you, and it must also contribute even in other people's lives. If you really were to look at people that have been successful, you will see some sort of a pattern that they set goals for themselves, but the goal that they set was beyond just them being beneficiaries. So start looking at your goal and saying, okay, I want to achieve this wealth. What will it mean for my family when I achieve this goal? What would it mean for my community? What would it mean for South Africa when I have achieved this goal? What will it mean for the world? You're making your goal to be bigger than just being about you. And when you do that, it feels as though as it gets harder and harder, when you are, as you win each battle in this war, you gain some sort of a momentum, because you are no longer fighting this fight for yourself. You are now fighting this for everyone that actually has that problem. And that's the key. You gotta need to take your goal, whatever that goal is, and make it bigger. What will that mean for my life? Start listing down, because you are now listing down all the benefits. If I don't achieve, how am I gonna feel about myself? How am I gonna actually be a better person about this? If I fail in doing this, what will it mean? Why do you need to build both pleasure and pain? Is because some of us act because of pain, some of us act because of pleasure. So you're gonna also need to assess yourself, which one pushes you. Because I grew up quite rough, for me, pain pushes me. If I've really been moved and I feel a pain, I will not sleep until that thing is solved, until that problem is solved. So that is what you're gonna need to build. So you're gonna need to first build up the positive affirmation, which are the opposite of the weaknesses that you have picked up, of the things that usually stop you. Number 2, you're gonna have to work out your goal to be bigger than you. So ask yourself, in the goal that you wanna achieve, what will it mean? What will it mean for yourself? So for me, I started saying, what will it mean? My daughter, I can demonstrate to my daughter this, that having a discipline, having to fight for what you want, what it means. That is why sometimes I exercise with her. I ask her to be my coach. But I also then said, what would it mean for my son? He will then be able to be in a position to encourage and say, my mom did this, my mom did that. So I then said, what would it mean for the family as a whole? My family in my mother's side, they're quite obese. It will also mean that they can learn, my cousins can actually learn that you can't do this. But what will it mean in the whole, everyone that is around me, everyone whom I'm teachers, you guys will learn from my mistake. As I was explaining some of these mistakes, you are learning from that. You are taking those lessons and applying them to your life. What would it mean for the whole world? Is that you don't have to sit with a problem. Your past does not determine your future. You choose every day. As you make decisions, you choose your future. The little decisions that we make as human beings, they add up to be the life we have actually are living. There is no life that is designed somewhere by somebody. No one is dictating your life. We have a full control over our own lives. No one has a control. And for us to say, I'm not happy, it means you have not done enough to make sure that you are happy and you are living your best life. So again, I love teaching. I love doing what I'm doing. So it's about, when I have learned this, what will I do with it? I've already started. I've already joined the groups on Twitter that I when people are asking about keto, I do answer. And I even said to one of the guys that are actually that created the handle that I think, yeah, that created the handle that fetched Your Body 2020. I feel there's a book coming, because as I am changing things and stuff, I'm realizing that at the end of the day, it's never about the diet. It's about your mindset, but also your ability to listen to your own body, your own mechanics, and really understand it so that you can then be able to manage it better. Previously, I had actually let my feelings and my emotions control my mindset and my belief, and then my body. So my body or my weight was the result, but there was a whole lot of things. So number one, how we're gonna fix doubting beliefs, how we're gonna feed bad beliefs or beliefs that are not supporting our goals. We're gonna do affirmations. We're gonna design affirmations. So those maybe who are looking for affirmations in relation to finance, let's maybe have a look at that. Are there any questions? I'm gonna share now. So affirmations, maybe if it's finance for you, money, or even success, some of them will give you here. It's just that, again, I don't want you to take someone else's affirmation. I want you to create the affirmations that talk to your issue. But again, you can just say on Google, let's say affirmations for money, affirmation for a success. And there is thousands of them. Listen to YouTube on affirmations. And again, just starting learning to actually have that positive and that thinking mindset. Remember, you are what you think about most of the time. So when you start building this affirmation, you are throwing in thoughts in your brain so that your brain can start, and you are actually, you are changing your subconscious. You are changing how within your mindset that is embedded in, and you are turning it around. I think one of my affirmations when it related to finance was about, I get paid for my value. I add value in people's life. Then I'm worth the money I am looking for. So those were my affirmations. I touch people's lives and change the way they think. I touch people's lives to change the way they do things. When they have spent 10 minutes, 5 minutes in my space, they are better people than they were before. So those were my affirmations, because I wanted to do something that is impactful. I wanted to do something that matters. It was never about, I need to sell this, I need to do that. No. And that is why those who support me and those who understand what I do, they support me till the end. We always are having retainer clients than a once-off clients because of that. So, and guys, that is what it means when we're talking about positive affirmations and about building up a goal that is bigger than yourself, is basically pulling up the spirit of everyone who wants the same thing, to pull up the positive energy. And this morning we spoke about vision board. Start maybe searching, if you're on Twitter, vision board, and start seeing other people sharing their vision boards. Start maybe Googling a word again on other groups and say affirmation. Start learning how people are actually, because other people, they use them even as like a prayer. They are similar to a mantra. They are same as daily devotions. It's the same thing. It's about trying to brainwash your mind and throwing in. It's like you're throwing a fertilizer once you have put in the seed. The seed is your dream. The seed is your goal. But now we're starting to put the fertilizer. The first fertilizer is your beliefs. Number two, how you're going to build a belief. You're going to find a mentor and a coach or coach in that area. Guys, a mentor and a coach does not mean it's someone that you have paid. A coach and a mentor is someone that when you read what they are saying is something that sits well with you, is something that teaches you something. And there's lots of them. There is no limitation of information and content. Find that coach and that mentor who's going to help you to actually work through your goal, towards your goal. Number four, you're going to need to have knowledge and skill. Knowledge and skill about that problem or about that goal. Let me say this, you will not achieve financial wealth when you don't understand your finances. You will not achieve healthy living when you don't understand what that means, being healthy. What are the rituals of people that are healthy? So you're going to dedicate time and resources to pull up the knowledge and the skill about that goal that you have set for yourself, whatever that goal is. If you have set a goal that says, I want to earn 2 million a year, you then going to say, how do people earn? How do people earn money? People earn the money by increasing their value, by contributing more to the society. How do they contribute? People earn by increasing the price of what they're offering. They increase the volume. That is how people earn. People earn by actually having assets that generate the revenues. So you're going to educate yourself. If your goal is to earn, then say, how do others earn? What are the ideas? What are the 10 ways in my life as it stands right now, I can earn more than what I'm currently earning, if your goal is earning more money? And then you're going to realize also, as you're doing that, how do I make sure that I spend less all the time? Maybe you like buying clothes and stuff. Then start thinking about, maybe I should only buy when there's a sale. Maybe I should only buy from a factory shop. Maybe I should only buy from a secondhand shop. But you're going to have to figure out the knowledge and the skill to actually execute, because the lesser you know and aware of the principle of that thing, the more chances you will fail. The more things are going to be trial and error for you. And by principle, you shouldn't if you've already got a mentor and a coach. So what else can you do to actually improve and build up a belief? What else can you actually do to improve, to increase what? Your beliefs. Guys, I just want to, before I move on to this last 5 points, do you have any question on those 4 points? It's so quiet. It's like I'm all by myself here. Come on, guys. You guys, you're so quiet. Even in the morning, you were very quiet. Come on, talk to me. Yes, nothing from my side, pressure. Thanks, Natasha. Okay, so the last thing that you're gonna need to actually do to improve or build up a strong belief system or a belief about yourself in what you are building, in what you want, you're gonna need to learn to trust yourself. So how do you learn to trust yourself? You're gonna set small little things that you are doing. These things, as you do them, will build up a confidence, and confidence in yourself. As that confidence get built up, it then gonna make you trust yourself more. That feels to me, it's mouthful. It's not simply enough. Let me try again. You gotta need to actually learn to trust yourself. How you will learn to trust yourself is doing small things that you have committed yourself into. And as you do those things and commit to those little things that you are committing to, that you are doing towards achieving your goals, will then lead you to be confident in yourself, and you will then end up trusting yourself. Guys, are you getting what I'm saying? Let me make an example. Maybe you have said to yourself, I am actually gonna start monitoring. Precious said, people that are wealth, they track every cent. If Oprah could say she'll be $3 short, surely I can track my money too. And then you then will say, okay, how much did I spend today? Money spent, money earned. How much did I earn today? How much did I spend today? How much did I earn today? Okay, I actually spent more than I earned. Then I need to work on that. I need to work on making sure I earn more than what I spend. By you being conscious, because that's another thing. People are not conscious about their actions. What do I mean? You do a list and you go to the shop and you put the list on your bag and you go to all the rails at Pick and Pay. You came for 3 things. You're coming out with a whole trolley. You are not aware. You are unconscious. You are unconscious about your action and the things that you are doing. There's so many things that we are doing that we're just unconscious about. Because of that lack of awareness, then we are making mistakes after mistake on top of another mistake. And sometimes just monitoring ourselves, we will then be able to catch ourselves. So maybe you have a habit of saying that when you are tired, how you relax, you watch TV, right? How you relax, maybe you watch news. How you relax, maybe whatever that you do. But ask yourself, what value does that do to your goal? What value does that bring into your goal? How does it help you to achieve your current goals that you are working towards? But because you are so used, you have carried this habit over a period of time, then you're just doing it unconsciously. So the aim is just building up the small little things, changing small little things. And as you commit to changing that just one thing, it begins to build up a confidence in yourself that you can do this. And you begin to trust yourself. And guess what? When you trust yourself, you begin to also believe in yourself that you can achieve this goal. Now, what are the thoughts that you're gonna start putting? What are the mindset? What sort of mindset are you actually gonna be putting in? What are the tools that you can put in place to make sure that you're building up the right mindset? You're gonna need to have a mindset that all the challenges that we have had, all the challenges you have had and the challenges that you currently have, they are a result of your inability to learn from them. So the challenges that you currently are facing, the challenges that you are facing in your area, you should be asking yourself, this challenge, what is it here for me to learn? Which lesson that I'm not getting for this to pass? Because every challenge in your life is meant to pass. But how come this one is not passing? That is what you need to work on. And stop focusing on the result, focus on the process. What do I mean focusing on the process? I think sometimes we're chasing the results. I mean, I was doing that the past 3 months. I will go to the scale. I practically the other day, I wanted to break the scale. I'm focusing on the results. I'm not focusing on the process. I'm not focusing on, have I drank my 3 liters of water? Have I done the ACV? Have I done this? So if it's financial goals, you should be asking yourself, okay, have I set the budget for the month? Have I been monitoring where am I spending the money? Have I been watching my emotions when I'm spending the money and seeing the pattern? How come I am unable to earn more? What are the things that can actually help me to earn more money? You must be always preoccupied by your goal, nothing else. Remember that example I made about that girl that, you know, as I was scrolling down her Twitter feed, sure, it was like a wake-up call in my face. That I am not focused. My mindset is not focused on what I actually really want. So, does that make sense? I feel like I'm all alone. Guys, come on, talk to me. Put some comments on the chat. I don't wanna lose any of you because I honestly really want you guys to get this. I really need you to get this. Because once you got this, it doesn't matter what goal you set for yourself, you will use the same principle. Yes, Vyogas, you wanna say something?
I'm listening to you. It's just that my background has got some noise a bit. That's why I keep muting myself so I can listen. But I'm with you all the way.
Okay, sis.
Thank you so much. I was about to type a message. Sorry.
No, don't worry. Which tools are you gonna start trying out, Vyogas? Out of the ones that we spoke about, the 5 tools, we said the first one is affirmation. Number 2 is making the goal to be bigger than you. Number 3, find a mentor or a coach. Number 4, building up a knowledge and a skill on that specific thing. And number 5, building up the trust. How you gonna do that? You're gonna do small little things, but you're gonna commit to doing it so that you build a confidence in yourself. Which ones are you gonna try?
I was looking straight to the affirmations because I think it can talk to me very well. And the second one, a mentor, because sometimes you lose it while you think you still got it.
So who's a mentor that's going to keep you focused, a mentor or a coach, or even an accountability partner, Vyogas, who's going to actually help you to be accountable to yourself and your goals.
Okay, perfect. That's very good as well. The accountability partner, I think that can also work for me.
So the accountability partner will definitely also help because the accountability partner will be saying, Vyogas, you said you were going to do this. Did you do it? How did it go today? They're going to check up on you. They're going to, from time to time, but you're going to need to set up specific time when you're checking up on each other. You're also going to be honest and tell your accountability partner what is stopping you to achieve that goal.
Okay. Yes, wonderful. No, you know what? You are very, on a serious note. I'm learning a lot. I might not be talking because of my background, because I'm trying not to disturb, but I'm catching up on a lot of information. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Virazi. And guys, again, listen to this over. We will post it on YouTube. Listen to it over and over and start taking. Maybe you might say, this week I'm going to pull up affirmation. This week, maybe I'm going to work on my goal to make it bigger. Maybe I can find a group of people who also want to achieve this same goal with me. Because that's all that means also. Are you saying that you think you will go for affirmation and a mentor? Great, that is good. Just always also know the difference between a mentor and a coach. So a mentor is the person that has done it, especially that generally in your industry. Whereas a coach could be someone who has not necessarily achieved it, but their role and responsibility is to see you in a different light and provide you with guidance on which areas you should be focusing on. So just know that small slight difference. So what are the things then that you will need to work on when you are actually building up your mindset? Guys, you're gonna start watching your thoughts. Some of us will let our mind just run through. So the best person maybe that I have done quite a lot of things about mindset is Robin Banks. Robin Banks is a South African. He got introduced to mind power some time ago by Australian. So just Google Robin Banks and listen to Robin Banks' YouTube. He usually also run webinars and workshops for free and stuff. So start looking into that. Robin Banks' Mind Power. I've attended his course about 4 times already. I probably will attend another one next time. Because guys, we have to realize that for you to achieve the success that you are looking for, you're gonna have to unlearn. You're gonna have to unlearn to learn, to be open to learning. So his course is called Mind Power. But there is other teachers on mind power and subconscious. Google that again and look at YouTube. There's so many people that actually will help you to actually build up a specific mindset and understand how your mind works. So with Robin Banks, he basically helps you to start analyzing what is it that you are thinking about, but control also your thoughts and manage how you actually are thinking. So, and I think also this is very important, but because it also helps, it also can lead to meditation, prayer, things like that. All those things are also about mind power, how you control your mind. And he also teaches you certain techniques about how to weed the seed, which is weed the weed, which it's called. What he put a word like nipping up the weed on your brain, some sort like taking out limiting beliefs in some sort of ways on that, saying that yes, your beliefs, but your beliefs are embedded, right? But there will be some things that you're gonna see that are gonna throw certain ideas. Know which ideas you cultivate, know which ideas you throw away. So ideas that disempowers you, you should totally. So me, when, for example, I go to Twitter, I go to Twitter to just look at how people are doing so that I get encouraged. Then I end up reading feeds about what politicians are doing. That's a bad thought already. I should avoid those bad thoughts. I should have tools on how I take that thought out of my mind. So the way you take out the thought is first is to notice it. Then the next thing is to actually then ask yourself, is that within my control? Yes or no? And if the answer is it's outside of my control, then you shouldn't worry about it. You should just leave it. You should never worry about something that is outside of your control. Okay.
Why?
Because it's too much work, Ma'am Paul. It's just too much work. You can't, you see, if it's something that you cannot control, you cannot manage, what's the point of even worrying about it?
Okay.
So I get so worked up by these politicians, but the only time I can be able to change that is only on the election day, or by influencing others to vote in a different way. That's all I can do as a South African citizen. And that's it. Do you understand what I mean? So it's the same thing.
I hear you.
You should limit the stress so that you don't focus on the things that you don't want. Okay, I don't like what is happening. I don't like that they're building things that they're saying there's houses, but it's not a house, it's a shack or whatever. Okay, what can I do about it? I can vote differently. What can I do about it? I can influence others to vote differently. What else can I do? I can maybe contribute to opposition. I can then support the opposition so the issues that the citizens of South Africa are complaining about can be heard. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So in any situation, ask yourself, what can I do about it? What is within my control? Then do those things. And once you have done that, you have done your part, that's it. You walk away. You walk away and that's done.
Okay.
So
thank you.
The other thing that I want to just express is that in the morning I said, your beliefs lead you to your thoughts, and your thoughts lead you to your emotions, and your emotion leads you to your action, and your action leads into results. You see, when you have put systems and processes of dealing with your beliefs, and you put systems and processes of dealing with your mindset, and the systems and processes of dealing with your feelings, do you think you should be worried about the action and the results? And you do the work on action, you do, because if you were to really think, the belief is the things that we cannot see, right? Thoughts, you can't touch or see the thoughts. That's an inside game. Do you realize that? So belief and thought, that's an inside game. No one can see those things. No one can touch those things. What about emotions and feelings? They can't see those things. They are within us. Those are the three things that build up to the action. By the time you action something, those three things have happened already. So if you win the things that are unseen, the things that if you win in your mindset, you win in your beliefs, you win in managing your emotions, there's no doubt you're gonna follow through and action it. And there's no doubt that you're gonna achieve the results that you want. And that's it. So those who really want to understand this in more deeper way, look into the T. Harv Eker writing, because that's all he's about. He's saying for your bank account to show up differently, you're going to have the right beliefs. You're going to have the right thoughts. You're going to need to have the right what? Feelings and emotions. And guys, most of the times, our emotions just take over. But most of the time, emotions and feelings are influenced by our fear, are influenced by our previous experience. So you're gonna also need to understand and let go and know that the previous mistakes that you have done, forgive yourself on them. Just say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for that lesson. thank you for that lesson. I acknowledge I made that mistake. Next time I will know better. Learn to forgive yourself and move on. Because if you keep on hammering on the same mistake, you don't grow. There's a blame. You are not going forward, you are going backwards. Acknowledge the mistake, learn from that mistake, and move on. I was saying, T. Harv Heck, I'm gonna write his name here. He teaches you about these inner issues. The way he teaches, when he teaches on mind power, he said, most people in life are looking for the results. The result is the bank account. The result is a nice house. The result is a nice home, is what. The result for me is being healthy and being size, whatever number, right? That's the result. We're focusing on the results. The results are not going to happen. You shouldn't worry about the results. We should be worried about, do I have the right belief? Do I have the right thoughts? Do I have the right emotions that are supporting my goal? And do I have the right action? That's the last bit, and it's the last thing. And when you have done that, that's it. You let it go. And let me say this, when you let it go, you are free. And you are free to a point that you don't even care about whether you are getting it or not getting it, because you have done all that you can. The challenge most of the time, we don't do all that we can. And then we drop it out, then we don't follow through, we don't do it. But if you have done it right, you washed your belief, you have washed your mindset, you have washed your feelings and your emotions, and you doing the stuff, you are disciplined, you are committed in actioning the things, you shouldn't be worried then about the results, because the results are not for you. The results are for the universe, repaying you for putting that effort. We don't put enough effort in what we do. We don't put all that is in. I mean, I was talking to another business owner on the coaching session. And I was saying to him, the area that we were working on was the area of discipline with him. So we had committed that we need to do certain things, and he had not done it. He does things the last minute. So the day we're going to have a coaching session, that's a day that he doesn't sleep, catching up. And so by that time, he has not thought things through. So I then said to him, you are not pacing yourself and you're not giving yourself enough time. We are not disciplined. And you do things then at the rush. Why are you not disciplined? Why are you not following through? And it was very clear after the discussion that he sees a value of us going through content, but he doesn't necessarily, he knows the things he needs to do, but he doesn't see how they relate into what he will then generate. So what you need also to make sure is that as you're doing these things, you keep the benefits of your goals in front of you, in all the paths, in all the things. Earlier, I was showing Denise that I even have taken out my clothes that are not fitting me to just remind myself that I need to focus on my goals. So you're gonna start putting a lot of things to remind you to keep focused. But you're also gonna start realizing that get tools that are gonna help you to remain disciplined. So one of the tools that I have built, that I have actually got, I bought myself the health watch. It was about 250 Rand at Take a Load. But all these little tools mean nothing if I have not set a specific goal that I need to achieve on a daily basis to achieve the bigger goal. So whatever goal you have, you gotta need to break it down into little pieces and commit on monitoring that on daily basis. And every day reflect, did I do well? Was this a good day? Was this a bad day? If it was a bad day, what can I learn from it? What can I learn from it? Don't repeat the same mistakes. So Paula is asking, which tools can that person use to do what needs to be done on time to avoid pressure? So with him, the tool that we worked on was his ability to actually set a specific time every day. So before he start doing any work in the morning, he prioritizes his development, his personal development. So he spends 1 hour every day. That was a tool that he needed. So if he has an appointment at 8, then he needs to make sure that he's up at 6 then to actually give himself that 1 hour to develop. When another tool that we did also was we designed his best day. How does his best day look like? The other thing also that we did with him, we did time management, how we should prioritize what met, what doesn't met, because he was also feeling overwhelmed. He has way too many tasks that he needs to do. You're gonna need to do what matters most. You're gonna need to do and focus on what will bring you income. Especially in his case, he needed to focus on the things that will bring him more income. So those are the tools that you can actually use. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, guys. So we have spoken about vision board. We have spoken about habits. I would like us to also, we also spoken about knowledge and the skills. We also have worked on what are the things that we will need to do in terms of building up the network around ourselves so that we associate ourselves with people that believe and people that have achieved the goals or people that are working towards the same thing. I would like you also to think of this. If you had set a goal, maybe for example, of building up a business, also do some sort of a personality test on yourself to figure out what are your weaknesses, what are your areas of places or things that you need to improve on. So in terms of how you self-manage, because at the end of the day, as an entrepreneur, if you fail to manage yourself, you can't manage the stuff. If you fail to manage yourself, you also cannot manage other things. So that assessment is also important because should you need additional resources, you will look for the resources for things that are weakness on your part so that you can build the strength of yourself and your business. But you're also gonna need to build up from the goals that you have set for yourself. You're gonna then, if you're an entrepreneur, say, how can my business help me to achieve these goals? Because the business is just a vehicle. It's just a vehicle for you to achieve the goals that you actually had set for yourself. So when you look at the goal you have set, maybe you said, I want to earn a 2 million as my earning, which means the business has to earn something like 3 million or even 4 million. And that is what you need to be clear about. But what does that mean? Can you break that goal into little pieces? Can you start saying, okay, what does that mean in terms of my sales? How many things am I going to sell per day to make that money? At how much? At what price? And who do I need to get into my network? Who do I need to get to help me actually move these items? And then you're going to start building up. Okay, Paula is also asking, when can we do the personal SWOT analysis? So the assessing your personalities it is your SWOT analysis. What you're gonna do is to ask yourself, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? And how do those weaknesses and those strengths contribute to my business? And how do I then build myself up to deal with them or be able to share that risk with somebody else? So you do that when you're doing your personality test analysis. Okay, so guys, just keep on typing the questions. I will stop each time when there is a question so that I can address it. With all of that, you are clear about where you want to go. You have a vision, you have the right habits, you have built up a daily routine of your best day towards achieving your goals. You have associated yourself with the right people. You have got the right skills and the knowledge, or you are building towards the right skills and knowledge. And you know yourself enough. The reason why you will do the SWOT analysis or a personality test, you want to identify your weaknesses so that you put measures to manage those weaknesses. And you've also looked at your goals on how they will then be integrated into the business. And now you have to work out the strategies. Now you have to work out the resources that is required. Now you have to work out the plans, basically. Now, Natasha said earlier, one of the things that had stopped her before was just working out on resources, the finances. Natasha, do you mind to come and unmute yourself?
I'm here, Precious. I'm experiencing connectivity issues, so I might break up.
No problem. It sounds like you're good right now. Okay,
so I'll just
good.
stay in this position.
So how should you deal with this? What are the tools that you should be having that will help you to deal with this issue? First of all, you do have the resources, Natasha, that you need to make the next move.
Okay.
Stop looking at the whole road. Just look at the next step. Just say, okay, this is the resources I need. And you put that amount, whatever that amount is of the resources you need. And then go back where you are right now. What is possible? What is the next move? This next move that you are making, what resources does it need? And let me say this, in most cases, it's not the resources that you need. What you need is people to believe in you. The resources that you are looking for is the relationships that you need to invest in. When you have strong relationships, you have all the resources in the world. You need people that are going to trust you with that vision that you want to carry. But for people to trust you, you're going to need to believe in yourself. And for you to believe in yourself, you're going to finish what you start. And the moment you get that confidence, everyone will have a confidence in you and start investing. They will invest in emotion, they will invest in resources, they will invest in their own connection to help you achieve your goal. You don't need money to achieve your goal. You don't need resources, but you just need to build up those little steps that I've just mentioned. What's the next move? Tell me what is it that has stopped you to do? Tell me the bigger picture, and then let's brainstorm. What is your next move? Natasha, are you still with me?
Precious?
Yes?
I missed half of what you said.
It's
I
fine.
lost
It's
connectivity.
recorded. Don't worry, at least it's recorded. We
Okay.
will actually play this. But what I need you to do for me is, what is
Okay.
it that had stopped you? How much did you want that you needed to actually do something that you needed to do? What is it that you wanted to do?
Okay, I registered my company in 2018, and like I said, I thought at that time I didn't have the necessary resources and I didn't have capital to actually start the business. So the company was registered in 2018, and that's basically what I did. I registered it. I didn't do anything else after that until a couple of months ago.
Okay,
So
what
I didn't.
business is that?
Sorry?
What business is it?
It's a virtual assistant business. So what
Okay.
my main aim is to assist small businesses with their administration.
Admin. Perfect.
Yes.
So the next thing is, okay, what resources did you need to start this? What resources did you think you needed to start this business?
I was thinking, you need an office, then you need a website, then you need a telephone line, then you need all the small stuff in order to start the business.
No.
Little did I know that I could have done the marketing then of the business. Hello?
Yes, now I'm with you.
Oh,
Okay, your line is bad now, is cutting. But right now, do you still feel there's something stopping you to do this? Because I think you've already answered yourself. You didn't need
not
any of the
after
stuff on that list. Isn't
not
it funny?
Like I said, I was very negative, and after this morning session and doing the Wheel of Life, it really opened up a lot, and it made me reflect on everything that is. You also mentioned this morning that we must focus on what we have and not what
we don't have.
we don't have. And I think that's the mistake I made. I focused on, you don't have this, you don't have that, you don't have the necessary stuff to actually go ahead and start this business. And that's what I think was my mistake.
Okay, my love. What I'm doing right now, I'm listing down the website that you can go and list your services on internet without having even a website. But you don't even need to have a website, because you can create your own blog page of who you are, what you do on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yes, I have actually done that. I've done that.
So Fiverr, freelance, virtual assistant, website, LinkedIn. You can list your offerings, go Fiverr and start selling. You can go to freelance. There is a website also called Virtual Assistants, that there's different people throughout the world that will go there to find who are assistants, who can assist.
Okay, thank you so much.
You don't need any resources. The fact that you are on this platform right now, it's exactly the same. But also think about this, start thinking about your experience that you have. Tell me about yourself, Natasha.
Personally,
No, your experiences. Share your experiences, your mini CV.
okay,
What
I
have you
recently
done?
I worked as a credit controller for Fidelity. I was with Fidelity for 4 years as a senior credit controller in that department. I was a personal assistant to one of the GMs as well. I actually worked for African Bank as a branch manager for 2 years. And thereafter, I was in and out of the security industry. But it's basically administration that I did for them. And my last job was the credit control.
Perfect. Now, you're going to need to think very hard. How can you package your virtual assistants to target a specific industry? Don't go too broad. What problem can you solve that you know of for security companies? What problem can you solve for banks? What problem can you solve for personal assistants? So you're gonna start thinking about, who do I wanna solve the problem for? Can I package a product based on the problem that I'm solving? And that's it.
Yeah, I actually read this the other day. You're just confirming it for me.
What did I say in the morning? When the student is ready, the teacher appears.
Very true, yeah.
Someone had to introduce it first for you to be open to hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, sis, go and work on that. In the meanwhile, start with Fiverr so that you can start earning. Start finding other platforms where you will list your services. Update use your LinkedIn as your personal website. Ask people to endorse you that you have worked with. Find the people that you have worked with in your industry to endorse you. Set it up properly. And then when you have done that, look at what are the things that you could actually solve for the specific industry. And don't go too broad. When you are starting up, guys, you go niche. It's only when you start building up, then you're gonna get broad. Go very niche. Out of these experiences in your mini CV, where do you feel that you can add most? Maybe even look at, who do you still have contacts of from those people? Who can you keep in touch with? Who can you solve their problems? And pick up a phone and call those. That's your target market. As you're learning.
Yeah.
Sis Paula say, what if they needed to be accredited? Accredited for what, sis? Paula, please come through. Guys, I think you have been brainwashed that everything you do has to be accredited by some sort of authority. Our business, the past since 2014 to date, in total, we have generated about 7.2 million in total to date, training and teaching. And our training is not accredited. All of you guys who were here in the morning, or even the previous time when we were doing this teaching, that we are teaching, even the stuff that we are teaching you now, none of this is accredited. Guys, the people that write modules that are related to accreditation, they do cut and paste. It's not the real life.
True.
The stuff that we're teaching you here is a practical. And that is why to some of you, you think, oh my goodness, this is so obvious. How come I haven't actually thought or done something? It's because this is not what get taught. That actually success is just not something that's just going to happen. It's going to happen from your habits. What habits are you having? It's going to happen from your attitude. What attitude do you have? It's going to happen because you understand your beliefs, you understand your mindset and your feelings and your emotions. What they teach you is say, move A and B to C, but they don't tell you what type of a person who moved from A to B. And if A or B does not move, what are the things? That is why we have people that have certificates and degrees, and they can't do anything with those certificates and degrees. So what you should be focusing on, can you deliver the results? What results have you delivered for your clients? And that is what sells, not the certificate. If you are in an industry where they need some sort of a certification, those we call regulated environment, like in auditing, in accounting, being a doctor, all of that. Of course, you can't say you can do this and you don't have a certification for those. But 90% of the things that exist in the world have not necessarily been solved by those people.
But can I ask?
Yes, go ahead.
What if with the gift that I have, I need to help the community, like what Natasha has said, when she wants to help small businesses through admin, and the township of my target market are young people that are not even maybe working, and with the economy that we're going through now, we are in now, I need maybe a relevant seater to fund these people for me to run the what?
Okay.
The workshop. Yes.
Sis Paul,
So, yes, ma'am.
First of all, the target market that you are looking at is a dead target market.
Okay.
I think it was the previous coaching session where I said, you can't provide a service to someone who cannot afford you.
Okay.
Guys, you came on this program. It's free to you, but somebody's paying us to do this. We are not doing it for free. And the reason why we stopped doing it for free is because people don't value what they have not paid for. They don't follow through what they have not sacrificed. Because there's no sweat. Sis Paula, don't choose a market that cannot afford your service. Because now you're going to depend on some politician or on some official to say yes or no. Now you're going to be thrown on bureaucracy. What you need to do, you are in a beauty industry, right? What you need to do is to look in this beauty industry and say, okay, who can pay for me to build up businesses of the beauty salon? Who wants the beauty salon to thrive? Who wants the beauty salon to actually get successful and use their products? Oh, Unilever. They sell relaxers and hair shampoo. Do they have salon range? Yes, no, okay. Let me move on. Dark and Lovely. Dark and Lovely want people to do you understand what I mean? Find the person who has an interest in the same market, who wants to move goods and services in that market, in that value chain. Because that's the person you should be sitting in front and say, do you have new product on samples of introducing new product or increasing your demand? I have a list of beauty salons, hair salons, nail whatever in my database that will be interested. How can we work together? I train, I coach them, and this is my package. And that is how you should be positioning yourself, not going for scrapples. And some politician, you're gonna end up being corrupt. You're gonna end up actually bribing the officials because you're gonna be too desperate. Don't put yourself in that position.
So true. Thank you.
And by the way, Sis Paul, you can create little booklets of how to run salons. And that will be one of the samples that you're sharing with those people there and say, here is our mini booklet on how to run a salon, how to run a hair salon or a nail salon, whatever that you are focusing on, as a sample. This is a total number of them we have. Start pulling up your customer target group to actually join you on this journey. Start listening to their challenges and their problems, and start looking for people who have solutions to help them. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, love. You don't need any accreditation for any of the stuff I've just mentioned. You can get those that are saying they're accredited and tell them, oh, okay, you are accredited. You will employ those that are accredited. That's what you should be doing. Not you getting yourself accredited. You are not in that space. You are in a facilitation. You are in a trade. You are in transferring of your passion and your love of beauty. That's all that you are selling. Guys, remember what you are selling. Remember what you are selling. I don't sell finance or financial literacy. That I do not sell. But financial literacy is a product. What I sell is to relieve people from a baggage of being imprisoned by their own beliefs, their own minds, and their own emotions. That is what I do. That is why when you come up out of our coaching session, you feel relieved, you feel clear, your mind is clear. Even in the coaching session, everyone that we work with, their feedback to us, they will say, Precious, for the first time, it's almost like I can see my next 10 steps. But you don't keep it going. So some of you disappear after the next 10 steps because you got lost after 4. It's supposed to help you to consistently then touch base and say, I'm stuck here. Okay, I can't think this through. Don't sit in the little corner and think you can do this on your own. You can't. If you do, you're lucky that you're able even to do it. I shared in the morning that I have been learning business since I was 14 years old. Till today, I'm still struggling in certain things. And some of you have never even finished a business book. So how the heck do you think you're gonna actually be able to do this on your own? You can't. You can't. It's practically impossible. So once you have designed your plans, you then work on implementing those plans. We spoke earlier about the habits. We spoke about your daily actions. So one of my mentors, oh, I love him so much, Jack Canfield. I'm gonna write his name here. He wrote one of the best books. It's called The Success Principles, Getting What You Want. Guys, let me just pause a second. Start putting up the question. I'm coming back. I'm fetching the book. Because we moved a little bit earlier, I now have to bring also the charger. Just give me a few minutes. In the meanwhile, just start documenting and reflecting of what have you learned so far and how you're going to apply it and where you're going to look for your mentors. And I'm coming back. Okay, guys, I'm back. No one is saying anything to me. I'm all by myself. Gail, what's up? Nancy, do you have any questions? Also, Vuyogazi and Devon, any comment? Nothing. There's absolutely, come on, guys. I've said a lot today. I have said a lot. Okay, I wanted to show you this. This is the book. This is the guy. Jack Canfield. He wrote this book, which is called The Success Principle. So the Success Principle have fundamentals. And these fundamentals, guys, sure, I don't even know. So there's about, I think it's 64 principles in there, but there's fundamentals of those principles. So, for example, 1, taking 100% responsibility for your life, right? Number 2, sorry, let me try this. Okay, number 2, it's about being clear on why you are here. Number 3, deciding what you want. Believe it's possible, believe in yourself. There's a whole list. I think under fundamentals, we have more than 24. I would like you guys to listen to that book. It is on YouTube. It's about 6 hours. I would like you also to consider even buying the book. It's not expensive. I think it's about 350 or 250. Look how dirty it is. Look how much I've written on it, and consistently I'm learning. It's different colors because I'm reading in different times. This book is it's an executive summary on how success is actually achieved. But what I like most, Jack Canfield is the guy that wrote the book, The Chicken Soup for the Soul. Those who knows books will know that book. I think in your journey, in achieving your goals, whatever that goal is, building these principles around yourself and learning around these things will help you to achieve your goals. And Jack Canfield is the one who said, do 5 things towards your big goal. Do 5 things, 5 daily actions towards your goals. I love that. That's one of my favorite things, even though I don't do it. But now I'm doing it. So especially when it comes to my health, I have let it go on finances for now. I'm feeling like I don't want to deal with that right now. So I'm just focusing on what I know will unlock even the finances. Motivation, I spoke about. I have a list of coaches and mentors that I know when I listen to them, they kick my butt. And one of them I shared in the morning is Les Brown. Jack Canfield is also one of them. Dr. Monroe, the guy that died, who was a pastor, that also is one of my motivational thing. So start listing all the people that you will need to listen to pick yourself up. And then build up your daily routines and your weekly routines, then your monthly routines. At this point in my life, I have really figured out my daily routine. What I now need to do is to start dealing with the weekends. I think I'm still struggling to figure out the weekends of what do I do with myself on the weekends. I also do reflections every day. That I've been doing it for years. That is very important because it helps me not to repeat the same mistake the following day. I also teach that to my children. I'm no longer doing affirmations anymore, but I listen to the affirmations when I go to sleep. So I want to brainwash my subconscious mind. What else? The last thing, work with someone to monitor the progress. Work with someone to monitor how you actually are progressing. Guys, celebrate the little wins. Celebrate the wins of achieving. So the last 2 days for me have been great. I am celebrating those. But make sure when you're celebrating the wins, you don't celebrate them with the opposite of what you want. What do I mean? Maybe, for example, your financial goal is to spend less than you earn, but then your celebration approach is, I'm gonna go and buy something. That is, it contradicts what you want. Maybe like me, I will say, I will celebrate, but then I will buy a cake. That's just like you're doing the opposite of what your goal is. So things like that. So find something that you are celebrating and rewarding yourself, but make it to be something that will help you go further, but encourage you. So I love reading. So sometimes one of the things that I do for celebration is just take 4 hours reading, because I love reading. And sometimes I basically will list the things I haven't done in a while. I love gardening. So I will use then doing the gardening as part of myself rewarding myself, because I do love. So list things that you love doing that do not need any resources if your aim is to spend less. But if your aim is not tying back to spending less, you can spend. In other instances, for example, I will buy myself a new book, because I love books and stuff. So just celebrate the wins. So and map them up. Say something like, if I do this for the next 7 days, I will do this for myself, and follow through on that. Ladies, maybe you can go to Clicks and buy yourself a spa kit, a home spa kit, and have a spa day at home with your daughter or your sister or a friend, or alone. I don't know what men do, so I can't help, but yeah. Maybe also something like you can learn a new skill, learn to knit or something. The other thing that I do to reward myself, I watch documentary. I don't generally watch TV, so I will say I'm gonna just binge on this documentary. That I love documentaries because I always learn from them, because they're real life. So that is what I will then do. So again, start looking at things that are not gonna cost you money to actually reward yourself, and put up your successes. Again, I learned this from Alon Racecorp at Racecorp. I mean, when you go to his offices and you're talking to him, he has put up all the wins and all the losses of companies that he did not may work with them, or that didn't like what he was offering and stuff. And he says he likes doing that because he gets reminded of where he has been, but also be sober enough of how far he still needs to go. So start putting up your successes, and don't be afraid of enjoying your successes and putting them up. I didn't do that for a while, and my husband started actually even putting some awards. Earlier in the morning, there was a small picture of me on one of the top 50 founders. I think that was 2018. Female founders. So I don't like things like that. And my husband actually said, you have to put up those successes. And I think it's the same principle as what Alon is saying, because you have to be remembering of how far you have come, but you also need to remember on what you have achieved so far. Small wins, guys, they add up to big wins. Small wins, small wins. The fact that you finished the task as you had agreed you're gonna finish it, that's a good thing. Thumbs up to yourself. Give yourself a break, give yourself a hug and say, great job, you've done well. Make a journal for yourself. Have that feeling of feeling good about yourself, because that is very important. I think most of the time we don't pay attention to how we're feeling. We just go through emotions. We need to start watching how you're feeling, because how we're feeling also tell us what is our belief and what is our thoughts. Guys, I'm gonna allow this time now. I have finished all the content on the principle. I need you to go back to the book, read the modules, and then come back to us. We are gonna have a Q&A on a WhatsApp group. Please post through. Let's work together for you to achieve the goals that you are destined to actually own and be. And just remember, you must become the person who's worth the goal you are actually pursuing. I will take the questions or comments. Guys, no one is talking. Guys, first, did you learn anything about what we covered today?
Precious, how's it?
I'm good. Hi, how are you?
Lekker man, I joined late, so
Don't worry, we're gonna share the video in the morning, but also for this one in the afternoon.
Okay, because I just want to ask you if you can just recap or summarize what you've touched on here.
I can definitely recap for you. So in the morning, what we mainly covered was about letting go of your past and dream about a new life that you want to create. Understanding that as you get each day in your life, you're getting a new chance to have a better day than you had the previous day. Is actually making sure that you are learning from your previous day. But we also worked on how then do you move yourself from that dream or that best life to make it visual for yourself. We spoke about a vision board. I shared my vision board. But we then spoke about the habits that achieve those goals. And we spoke about specific principles that if you want to have financial success, what are the things you need to actually be prescribing to? What are the principles or things, the habits that you should be actually be working towards? And for finance, we said, first, you're gonna learn to spend less than what you earn. Because if you don't, you're gonna be slave for the rest of your life. We also spoke about, I'm looking at my notes, multi-stream of income. We also spoke about monitoring your spending and your earnings. And earlier when we spoke about multi-stream of income, we're mainly talking about, you need to understand that there's an active income and there's a passive income. Number 4, we then said, build your wealth by actually building assets. Because when you start to spend less than you earn, you start building up the asset. The asset must generate the income. And we then said, you also will set goals and constantly review, analyze, trigger, change, build up things around yourself to make sure that you are achieving that goal. And we spoke also about the rich people versus poor people thinking, the mindset, how they do things. And we then went through the list of teachers and coaches that will help to actually build up. But which was also clear that for us to achieve these things, we really need to assess in all our aspects of life, where exactly am I in terms of the wheel of life. Where am I in finances? Where am I in relationships? So, and we said there are several tools you can use. The one that we shared is Tony Robbins. And we also said from that tool, it will then help you to see which areas you need to improve. We also spoke about understanding that sometimes it's difficult when you are not sure which area to focus on. But that wheel of life, the aim of it is to rate yourself. But in that rating, you will start choosing the stuff that is at the lowest so that you can have some sort of a balance. But choose something which you know is going to unlock other areas. And I made an example upon myself. And I'm not going to go through the detail of that. Follow up on the video and you'll be fine. You didn't lose much because what you were supposed to hear is what you had today, what you had now. Yeah.
Lekker, thanks.
It sounds good. You feel like you missed out. Don't feel that way. You did it. You will get
Also,
it at the
we
right
will
time.
just send Eskom. Yeah, we will just send Eskom the bill for the load shedding.
Hey, I promise you, the load shedding has really been a problem, but we're not gonna compare.
Yeah, because I like the fact that you're talking about celebrating the small achievements because it can lead up to the big ones.
Absolutely, and own up to that success. Own up to that success. Share that success. Share that success with other people around you, even on a WhatsApp group, and say, this is what I got. That is going to encourage others.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Vuyoga writes, thank you so much, Precious. I learned a lot today. I will write down my goals and make sure I follow through on them till the end. Have my daily affirmations and get help of a mentor. Thank you so much, Vuyogas. And just remember, a mentor is not someone that you need to pay. It might just, guys, these guys that I've just shared, this guy, he is my mentor. But I only have spent 250 because I bought this book when 2013. I bought this book in 2013. Can you see? I bought this book in 2013. So you don't need, I mean, I read and watch him and listen to him when he runs his free webinars and seminars. That's okay. There is a lot of information out there. You're gonna start trimming down and focusing on the information that helps you to achieve your goals. Thank you so much for the feedback, you guys. We really appreciate. Denise, please make sure that you email everyone's response, feedback for our sessions. Our people that pay us to do this, they always want to hear, what did you learn? How are you going to change your life? What's the impact? So please don't be afraid to tell your views and anything also that you think you would like us to add or anything that you think will help others too. Please let us know. Can I take any questions, guys? Do you know where you're going to start with this program? Nancy? Let me unmute her. Nancy? Okay, hello. Hi, Nancy.
Hello, Lupresh.
How are you?
I'm doing well, my dear. I'm doing well, and you?
Good, thank you. What are the things you're gonna work on?
You know what? I'm going to work on my time management. That is my biggest enemy. That is my biggest enemy. Later on, you talked about don't rush things. Do things, go do your things on time. In most cases, I'm rushing. I'm not gonna lie. In most cases, I'm rushing. But from now on, I have to sort my life, my business together. I must do my things professionally. I just need to find myself a mentor and carry on. I've just opened a boutique recently. Now is a new baby. I just want to nurture it. I want to, because I'm the one who is building it, and I want to make sure that I'm going to maintain it. I want to maintain it. I want to grow it. I want to take it to the higher level. I'm telling you, I'm so motivated. I'm so motivated. Thank you very much, dear.
Thank you so much. That is great. Nancy, your boutique, what does it sell?
I do sell shoes, bags, and clothes and accessories.
That's
I only
wonderful.
started with ladies things, but later on I want to introduce for men also.
Okay. Just remember also that you could actually improve how you look at your boutique by adding other channels like selling online and especially when it comes to clothes.
Yes, I
So
still want to work on
yeah,
that.
so those are the areas that maybe you should also be thinking about and improving. But also think about how do people that buy the type of the clothes that you do, how do they spend their time, and what do they spend their time on, and what do they do, so that you can start marketing to that specific industry, to that specific person, direct
Indeed.
and going through. So just work on it, and constantly be asking yourself those questions.
Indeed.
We have a few more comments. Kelebo said, I had a problem on dwelling on the failures for too long. Now I'm gonna learn and forgive myself and move on. Thank you. Oh, myself. That is called beating yourself up. We all do. I mean, you go to a meeting, maybe a meeting went horrible wrong, and you keep on replaying it in your head over and over. No. Just, yes, Sissy, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, I had a problem like that, Precious. Like a perfect example that you said. I remember I had a meeting with some funders. I think it was 3 weeks ago, and then I had a presentation. I prepared everything, but the way I was so nervous about, so like I just messed up my presentation. And it took me weeks to forget that. Like the whole week, I was beating myself. I said, "Oh, I should have done that. I prepared. Then what happened?" And then like every time I was no, but now at least I've learned a lot. Like your session the morning and now, and also that one of, if I can't be disciplined, how will I lead my workers? I had a problem with some few things, but now I have learned. I'm gonna play this presentation now. I'm gonna listen it again in YouTube. Thank you very much, Ma.
Thank you so much. So again, from that presentation, what do you think you should have done before the presentation?
I think maybe if I did the presentation maybe in front of people, like, and maybe my husband or my family, so that maybe they can ask some question just to prepare myself for those things. But I think because of I was thinking too much of what if maybe they were gonna ask this type of question. So that is why maybe I was nervous, and I prepared everything on a PowerPoint, and then. But I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, really, Precious. I was so nervous. I mixed up everything. I didn't even follow the presentation. I was so nervous. I hope maybe they will just pardon me, and then maybe they will give me the money. I don't know.
What scared you the most? Was it an intimidation, maybe getting overwhelmed? Or what was on the stake? Because sometimes if maybe you are too desperate for something, you don't get to relax. But in other instances, the environment is just intimidating. Which one was it for you?
I think since well, it was presentation that I made in front of let me say, like big bosses of big companies.
Yeah.
Like they were from race
So
corps and the mines around here.
it's
Yeah, so
intimidation. Thinking that
yeah,
they're gonna find the wrong things on my presentation. There's stuff that I forgot.
and the thing, it was like the meeting was on Zoom. They were not even here, and then they switch off even the cameras. I don't know why I was so nervous. I think just maybe by listening to their names, and this one is from this company. So I think they intimidated me really.
You got intimidated. Oh Lord.
And I was asking myself, what if I was presenting in front of them? Then
Oh.
what? Then it means I was gonna just die there. But now I've learned to let go. And then next time, because it was the first time, so I think
next time
I've
you're gonna
learned.
do better. So one of the things that you could also do is to get to present not just your family members, but present to someone whom you think might listen to you, maybe your accountant, and say, I have this presentation to do. Would you please just listen to me and help me to see if there's anything that I can add?
Yeah, I think also I must do that. That is why I wrote that I think I must get myself a mentor, and then you explain the difference between a mentor and a coach. So that is why I'm saying, I think I must get myself a coach. Like every time when I have something, I must just go and
SMS them and say, this is what, can you please, and guys, you can find a lot of these people on LinkedIn and stuff. So please, and some of them, guys, they actually will reply. Some won't. That's okay too. But just don't be stuck on the previous mistakes. You know, you see, that is why it's important to do the reflection on that day, because that is where you leave it. You say, God, I made this mistake and this mistake. I see it, I understand. I know why I had to go through that. I got the lesson. Thank you.
Yeah. And also on that one of vision board, I think also it's going to help me a lot also on my business, because like I've been running my business for 4 years now, and then I will just have ideas on my head, like I want to see myself in the next 5 coming years doing this and that, but like I don't have a visionary board like that vision board that will guide me every morning when I look up at it, and then I say I must go and reach this goal. Like, I don't write my goals
when you see a vision board.
Yeah, and I don't even set myself like a time frame of I wanted to do 1, 2, 3, and then if I can give myself a time frame of I want to achieve this in this time.
Yes.
So yeah, at least today, you have really
thank you so much.
Okay,
thank you, love. Thank you so much. Natasha has just wrote, I was ready to throw in the towel until this morning. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I've learned a lot today and will definitely implement. And when, Tasha, you get stuck, just contact us. Continuously attend the weekly sessions also that we're gonna have. Even if you can't, download the YouTube afterwards. Learn from others. What mistakes are they making? How can you implement some of the ideas that we're discussing? And continuously learn. Remember, the reason why the problems sometimes feel bigger is because you are smaller than that problem. And the only way you can change the situation or you can change the circumstances is not the problem, it's you. You have to become bigger. And for you to become bigger, you're gonna learn, you're gonna implement, and you're gonna understand, be aware, be conscious. Get the lessons, even when you think the lessons are not for you. Always be looking out, what is God trying to teach me? As you're going through that process, respect the process, focus on the process than the results. Because you see, if you're doing things the right way, you don't worry about the result. Your belief system is right, your mindset is right, your feelings and emotions are right, your action is also right. You don't worry about the actions. You don't worry about the results, sorry. The action is what you need to focus on, but that is influenced by your emotions and your mindset. Vuyokazi is saying, on those weekly sessions that you have, do I get an email with a link or the link is sent? We do both. We send it through on WhatsApp, but we also send you through the weekly newsletter. Guys, is anyone who would like to share, those, especially those who are also here in the morning, is everyone okay? Okay, it seems everyone is fine. Thank you so much for the feedback. We are done. There is a link. We will also share this link on your feedback. Please, those who didn't get some of the content in the morning, or maybe you got cut off or we got cut off because of the network, just remember we are recording. We will post it on YouTube, and we'll also post the link on the WhatsApp. Guys, use the WhatsApp group to share. Start selling to each other. Understand that you are gonna actually make a life and a better life out of yourself, but you can't do it alone. You're gonna do by creating relationships. Business is built from the relationships. Money is from people trusting you that you're worth the money you're asking for. And thank you so much for your time. Goodbye. I think there's no other question, right? No, I have no other. Vuyokazi is asking for, okay, so I've already answered that. Guys, thank you so much. If there's no one who has any question, we can, yeah, we'll see each other next week when we're having our weekly sessions. Thank you. Goodbye. Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Gail.